All right, good day. Hi. I keep forgetting to take the filter off. I did a filter for one of the music videos, and yeah. So no mice down here. I just came down here. It's about 10:30. Went and got my provisions. I'm gonna go start on the back wall again. Gonna. I broke like three things since I got here. I broke a step, well, the edge of the step. I broke an ashtray. I think that's all so far. So that's how my day is starting. I'm breaking stuff. Uh, but I brought a couple of things down. Brought some cool things down, candle stoves, etc., etc. And I got some more food down with my preps and stuff. I got lots to bring down. So what I'm gonna do there is when I do my grocery tally and supplies and everything, I think what I'm gonna do is just make a big list and just go stock up. You know, I would probably have to wait till I get a vehicle before I can do this, or I'll have to borrow either my dad's truck or my brother's van, or go with them. But if I go with them, you know, I gotta I gotta take up a lot of space in the van with the stuff I'm gonna buy, right? So it's like like I'm gonna buy like a year's worth of groceries of the staple stuff. So that's expensive. I'll put it all on the credit card, whatever. But it's you know what you're gonna spend in the interest, you're gonna save on running back and forth every month for gas, right? Because like it's like, and then just for the nitty gritty stuff, I can get locally. Uh, there is a closer grocery store than Renfrew, but the problem with it is it's like twice as expensive there. I have no idea why it's so expensive there. Uh, it just like it's not economy of scale. It's not because it's off the beaten path. It's just they can get away with it, right? So, but it's there for like the if I want to buy fresh vegetables or whatever. And I got my plants out this morning, and pretty much everything in here right now is mine. The dishes are done. I just got to put them away. I can't believe round one of the dishes are done. That was taking up like the whole month. Like that was a lot of dishes. So I'm gonna have that counter nice and clean today. Start closing my cupboards a bit. No mice this morning. That's almost 4 days now. No mice or anything like that. So that's good. Might have a little time this afternoon to make you guys a nice, good song. It's going to be a really good song. If you're a Pantera fan, yeah, I think you're going to like it. Yeah. And anyway, yeah, so I'm going to even try to get some of my stuff today. So today's goals are dig the back wall. I couldn't find my staple, my secondary staple gun. It's up there somewhere. But so I got some plastic down here, enough to cover at least two windows for sure, possibly three. So I got one, two, three, four, five. So if I could, and I think I'm gonna cover them on the inside for this year. The back wall, those windows, I'm sure the frames are leaking. But the thing is that I don't want to trap moisture in because that's how everything rots. I want it to dry. So I'll monitor it through the winter, and if I see like water running in from anywhere, I know it's from the windows. But then I started thinking about it. It's I think most of that moisture in the back of that room there was just like I said, the ground level being higher than the siding, right? So digging that out should solve that problem. Then the water can't like seep in underneath the floor plate. I'm gonna investigate where to put the foam because I got that foam and it looks like a fresh one. I'm not sure because I don't see anything on the top of it. It doesn't look like it was used. So, and those things is kind of like you kind of have to not necessarily use them all in one shot, but you got to make sure that the nozzle doesn't, that you clean the nozzle so you can use it again. And that's definitely probably going to go around the outside windows for sure. And anywhere I see a crack of daylight coming in, maybe I might want to get that. My brother already went nuts with one can anyway at one point. Seal up a lot of stuff. Uh, like the first winter, like I'm not anticipating it being super super cold in here, but I am anticipating it being drafty. I know my brother had to keep the heat up pretty high, but you know, they also liked it a lot. Like for me, I don't need it to be t-shirt weather in here. You know what I mean? Like I can live the winter as long as the water doesn't freeze and it doesn't damage my instruments. So anything over say 19 degrees to 21 degrees, like 21 degrees is room temperature, or 70 for my American audience. That's a room temperature. That's comfortable. If it's like 68, 69, okay, wool socks are fine. It's not going to damage anything. So I'll save a little bit on the heat that way, just because I don't have it as hot all the time. I do kind of like it a bit cooler. And when you're in bed and you're sleeping, it doesn't really matter because you got like 20 blankets on you. And I might not be sleeping down here that much. It's hard to say. Like once I get internet down here, going to be probably really busy down here. But we'll see. We'll see how the winter projects, right? And yeah, so if I can get a trail blazed into the dig out the back wall a bit more. I don't think I'll get that done today. Like I'm looking at the task at hand there. It is a very big task. But if I can at least get the sand off the wall, and then over time, like I say, I want to move it back 10 feet. That's going to take me, weeks to. Even if I was working at that 8 hours a day, that would still take me about 4 or 5 days to a week, easy, to dig out 10 feet, by hand. Like that. That's a very very big job. Even though the sand there is not too bad, but I'm gonna dig it out more. I'm gonna make my trail into the woodshed so that I could start clearing out the basement. Yes, that's the big one. Once I got the basement cleared out, guys, the whole house is done. Except for I still got to make a journey into the attic there to check out the condition of the rafters and everything like that, and the draft and everything like that, and seeing what's up there. How musty and moldy it might be up there. I'm not really worried about up there too much. I think it's probably was probably vented well enough. The big one up there is the spray insulation that my brother and my dad put in. The squirrels have been through it, and it's a mess, whatever. And it's not really that good. Like the stuff's too thin, right? So I'm kind of trying to think of what to put up there. I mean, you're always going to have squirrels in there. You're always going to have mice in there. That's just is what it is. But I think insulation bats probably, yeah, it's a little slower putting them in there, but they're a little more solid in there. And then even if the mice do tear on it, it doesn't, like every time the mice come in here through the wall or, through the hatch there, they bring a whole bunch with them, right? And so far I don't see anything on the floor. I swept up their last batch of insulation that they dragged down with them. So they're not missing the water bucket. I think I just might have gotten all the mice that are in here at the moment. And there was only 13 of them. That part I don't believe. Like, there's got to be more than that. That or they're just staying up there or something like that. Maybe that's what's happened. They haven't come down here yet. But the flow of them is gone. So that means there's not mouse poop being put everywhere. Like that counter is stained with not only mouse poop but mouse pee. Like that's pretty crazy. And there's other stuff on there too, like there was the grease stains and stuff like that. But it'll come off over time as keep scrubbing away at it. But that old Formica on the countertop there, that stuff stains permanently. There's not much you can do about it. But it's clean. It's clean. Everything's clean. Dishes are done. Wow. So yeah, if I can make a trail into the a good enough one into the woodshed, I can get most of that ductwork in there. Now I'm going to keep the ductwork. Other things I'm going to try to get done today is wall trail into there, clean up on my veranda, aka my garage, a little bit more. And I did bring something down last night. I'll show you guys. Because it's like you'll start to get the vision that the view that I'm going with. Let's switch this around. Angle. So there's some of the plastic there. So no mousies in there. Yeah, no mousies down there. No mousey up there. I don't trust them. I'm suspicious of them. So I broke the step. Broke an ashtray. Didn't mean to do that, but like all this stuff here, I'm gonna put into the not the weed whackers, but and the brush cutter yet, but the lawnmower. It's a good lawnmower. But there, I thought about it, like, why would I keep lawnmowers in here when I got a whole shed over there? Just gotta be able to get stuff into there. But I brought down the countertop last night. Now it warped from being outside of it, but that's what screw guns are for. I'll just put it on there. But that's my work. That's going to be my workbench kind of thing. That was the art table from up there. So this will be the patient, operation there. So yeah, so I'm going to get this cleaned off a little bit. I took down some of the cobwebs and stuff. I actually took a lot of stuff out of here. This generator, I'm going to toil around with it, but I think it's going to end up in the what you call it, the woodshed. So let's go have a look at the woodshed. I can't believe I broke that. Here's my plants. I watered them. Even watered my cactus. I didn't show you guys my cactuses yet, did I? Or no, I did. I think I did. But anyway, my brother and my sister-in-law and my nephew and my dad came down last night. It was the first time they've all been down here at the same time. Again, like I was saying in the previous video, my sister-in-law was kind of shocked at the place. Like, she was just like, where is everything, But anyway, I brought those guys in. Just might as well light the candle. Yeah, why not, eh? Yeah. See if I can light them without burning myself. No, cannot do it without burning myself. That's why you have to have 3 hands. Sorry, I'm just going to like this. You'll never know if it was me that lit it or not because you can't see. Yeah. But that candle, I trimmed the wick again yesterday. That candle lasts a long time. So I gave them, I guess I didn't give them enough water. Or maybe I killed them. I don't know. I gave them all water yesterday. And, yeah, I don't want to get myself jabbed again. Yeah, see, he's in attack mode. I can tell. But, yeah, my sister-in-law came and she saw the big one. Half of them were flopped over. She said, "Oh my God!" She goes, "They need water really bad." I said, "Oh, they do." Oh, okay. And it's like, well, that's what happens when you wait too long. It's like, I said I'd keep them alive as long as I can, but I didn't know when she last watered it. But candles. This is going to be a really cool thing for you guys to see. There's new versions of this out there, okay, there's another big triple candle. I gotta melt them down a little bit, but what I gotta show you is the super candle. This is like a 500-hour candle. What I do with these other little candles and stuff like that. Is it earplug? This thing hasn't been lit in a while. There's a piece of fuzz in there. But that's like a 500-hour candle. Scented too. What I do with candles like that, okay, as you can see, there's a bowl, right? And I have a gazillion of these little candles here. don't know how I'm going to get that one out, but there we go. These guys here, and they're not quite big enough for the those. I'll show you this separate. I've shown it before on the channel, but these are Stormland. These are like really cool. Can't recommend them enough. But what you do is you get your candles lit on both, put it on there, and these heat up this. So what happens is the candle itself just starts to melt into the, the thing. So when this candle gets to the point where it just no longer can stay lit, and you have like a whole edge of that candle, you can still use that wax. So I melt the wax down and redo it again. So these were the two little dollar store pots that I decided to use. But really cool experiments come with this. This thing, I heated my boat a little bit with it. The problem with candles is you light too many in your house, they eventually just all start going out. You get really sleepy because it burns up all the oxygen in the room. I meant to mention that in my lantern video the other day, where because it's burning something, you need to bring a little bit of air in, like if it's midsummer and you got the windows open, no problem. But if you're closed up for like the winter and you got those, just keep in mind that at one point you have to be aware of like carbon monoxide and stuff, because you are burning something, right? So so anyway, let's finally get out there. If I spent as much time working as I did talking, but like stuff like this, I'm gonna burn this stuff. Why not? Who broke my... too many things to do all at once. But I'm gonna get this all cleaned up. Gonna get that filled out, put it out to the curb. The Batechia and this lawnmower will be stored over there. And then I'll have all the space here. This will be stored over there. The Honda will be stored over there. The motorbike will probably come down this week. I was kind of hoping not to break that step. I thought the motorbike would have broke it, but I broke it before the motorbike could even get there. You see, that's how the back wall is coming along. But so I'm below the siding, but I want to get it like really, at least for now, if I can get 3 feet back and down 2.5 blocks, I would be happy for that for the winter. But here's my semi trailer. Watch out! Should have worn my work boots in here. Gee, I wonder why. You could see the, wow, there's jugs, there's everything. There's all kinds of stuff in here. Treasure. Like, okay, like I can burn boxes. I'm gonna look for stuff to burn as I'm clearing out. Like for example, I'm gonna bust this up with a hammer. The mattress I can't do much with until we haul it away with the truck. But almost everything else is either burnable or going to be like scrap metal, like this here. This is a citronella lamp. I could just tell it's citronella just by the look of it. So I'm definitely not going to burn that in the house. That would poison the crap out of everything. But it'd kill all the flies. So that's the cool thing. So you might die in the process, but there'll be no flies. See, there's another cook stove there. That cook stove back there has somebody's name on it. I wonder... That thing is older than me. That I know. There are some really old cook stoves in here. Plus, my brother piled a lot of junk in here. I got to rescue my nephew's little drum kit. I don't know if there's the rest of it's in here. I thought I saw it in here. But anyway, I got to come in here and just really go through things. But like you see, like, you know, like boxes, like you know what I mean? Like that can burn. You know what I mean? It will burn. It will burn. So just burning little stuff like that, the chunks of wood. Yeah. So there's a big job in here, but the thing is maybe I got to start in here before I actually start dragging stuff out of the basement. You know what I mean? Like that's what you're up against all the time. It's like 6 of one, half a dozen of the other. Yeah, maybe I'll start in here. Ooh, gotta watch. Some nice ceramic tiles there. There's a whole bunch of them. My brother was going to do the bathroom with them. Now, ceramic tiles I'm all for, but there's a problem. Oh, we didn't look at the morning view yet, eh? Look at all these nice fall colors. Have a look at my elm tree. Oh, it's losing its leaves. Let's zoom in on that. That tree is staying. I love that tree. That is such a nice tree. Whose dog is that? It's a loud dog. Maybe he stole a car. I don't know. Dogs do steal cars. Dogs do steal cars. You can't trust them. Oh, I'll just see if. Yeah. So the other thing is, I found out yesterday. Yes, this is the septic right here. That's the old one. Yeah, I was just sinking in, so I'm just gonna pack that full of sand, dirt, and whatever, so I could drive over it with the lawnmower without falling into China. Where are all the? I swear to squirrels, they steal everything from me. They've taken them all. Oh yeah, I see you, little buggerhead. You little thief. Yeah, well, let's zoom. There's the culprit right there. He's like, I'm waiting. I'm gonna steal the nut. Hey, what's up, buddy? Yeah, I see you. Yeah, stealing the nut, you nut stealer. Yeah, can't trust little buggerheads like that. That's why they're not even making it to the ground. I wonder where he's. Oh, I got one. I got two. They're hard to see. There we go. I'm gonna dry a few out. I'm gonna eat a few. I'll leave some for them because they won't eat all. I don't know how much the squirrel eats in the wintertime, but yeah, like if I were to take the lawnmower over here, these things would be flinging all over the place, hitting the side of the house. But the bizarre thing, because of this lilac bush, that lilac bush has got to be like 20 feet tall, 20 some odd feet tall. Look at all this dead stuff. Like, I got to cut all that off. Like, there's no point keeping that. Trim that in the spring. It's too late in the season to trim it. So, but I'm going to thin out this lilac bush. It's a beautiful lilac bush. It really is. You get all the monarch butterflies on it and everything. You see, there's almost no foliage on this side of the tree. Right? And there's all that dead stuff I want to get, like the widowmaker stuff. So I'm going to get the taller ladder up home and just next spring try to see, like, that whole one there is probably going to die and fall on the road. I really don't want this tree to die. It is such a nice tree. It's an oddball looking tree because it's all here, guys, take a sniff. Citrus. Oh, I love the smell of these things. The nut inside is really good. My brother was talking about them this morning, and he was like, yeah, he says, I got a whole bunch off of this tree, and he says, I put them aside, and he goes, I waited till they were just perfect, I peeled them, I was ready to eat them or whatever, and he put them aside, and squirrel came along and stole them all on him. It's like, you bastard. Yeah, I haven't seen the little squirrel there. I don't know if that was him there, but the one that my brother was feeding, I haven't been feeding any animals, but I haven't seen the skunks either. So the whole thing is that I guess I can switch this around again. The whole thing is to, like, my nephew came down yesterday. He was calling for the little kitty cat that normally comes, not the big one, Casper, but him. I think he just patrols the area. Yeah, see, oh, okay, I have another one over there. But he was calling for I forget what they call her, nosy or something like that. It's not even close to that. What do they call her? Anyway, it doesn't matter. And calling for her, and I'm like, I haven't seen her in a long time there. I haven't been feeding her, right? So he's like, okay. But there's a whole bunch of pets up home, Marley was over last night there. Her diet's doing well. She's only gained about 5 pounds. My aunt and uncle are probably, why does our dog just keep gaining weight? Because she comes over for supper every 5 seconds. That's why. That dog, she's something else. Very lovable dog for sure. She hasn't made it down here. If she does come down here, I have to chase her away and scold her and give her shit because I don't want her near the highway. Any of the dogs that come down here, I always give them shit. Say, get back up on the hill. Even Dum Dum there, Barry. He hasn't been down in a couple of days, so wow. I haven't seen him anyway. But he comes out and pisses on everything. That stupid jerk. He's about the only dog I don't like. Like, I don't hate him. I just he's an asshole. You know what I mean? He's just a complete asshole. But Marley, I love Marley. Marley's great. Yeah. So, but yeah, as far as feeding wild animals, like my grandmother had 73 cats out on that porch at one point. Like we kept taking them away, and she just kept feeding them. And what was it? Was something like 30 or 50, or no, it was even less. It was like something like 10 breeding cats to 30 breeding cats was something like a would work out to an extra 1,000 cats at the end of the year. That's it, because they have so many litters, right? 2-3 litters a year, and yeah, that was getting out of control. And then we were worried about rabies. She also had skunks and raccoons coming and porcupines. Yeah. A big grandma, how many? I said, how many cats are you up to now? She's like, see nothing. On that, so the SPCA come along, and they're overwhelmed with like barn cats and stuff like that. Like, yeah, we'll get there, and like it takes them 3 months to get to because it's just like, you know. And I get it, like it's hard, like you got a starving kitten on your doorstep. It's like I gotta feed it, but the thing is they got to get fixed, and it's so expensive to get them fixed. Like if they were just fixed and they lived out their days outside, that would be fine, and then it won't be a problem, right? You don't have to worry about them breeding or whatever. But there's still the rabies, the stuff like that. But they do take care of your mouse problem, that's for sure. But yeah, no. After my grandmother passed, there's always been barn cats. My dad said there was a barn cat they used to have called Mitzi. And every now and again, you'll get a Mitzi type cat where she had double paws on the front, on both front feet. She had double paws. That's why they called her Mitzi. And you get that, but that's usually you get that when there's so many cats. I guess they're getting so inbred or whatever. You know what I mean? Like they start to get all their birthday, but they get the mites in the eyes and all that. Because over at one of my clients there, she had about 15 or 16 cats there. They took them all away, and you felt so bad for them. Like they were friendly cats. They were super super friendly for outdoor cats. Because they knew no one was going to hurt them. I mean, everybody petting them, whatever. But they were all full of mites, and it's just like, it's they are a wild animal. Your own, and this is the way I looked at it. At it is, if you keep them around and you feed them, right? You think you're doing them this big favor by helping them. And in the short term, you are, because you're giving them a quick meal. But then they stick around and they get diseased and all this. Whereas if they're out prowling and just moving through their territory, they're not stationary. It's harder for them to survive in one manner because they have to hunt for everything, but they stay healthier. They never get the mites. They never get the, most of the time they won't get the rabies. So usually an owl or a hawk gets them. There's been that owl. I didn't hear him last night, but I've been hearing him for the past 2 months there. He must be just like right up on the bottom of the hill at our place there, because I could hear him shouting. Even with the window closed, I could hear. He's a loud one. He's a good one. And we have those snow owls around here. They're just so beautiful. Sometimes you'll see them in the day. Most of the time you don't. We do have the horned owls. I don't see those guys as much because they are nocturnal. But the snow owls, you see them like in the summertime. They're more brown. They still have a little bit of white, but they're more like brown. They're really cute. Or maybe about that big or whatever wingspan, maybe something like that. The horned owls, they're big. They're like they're like this big. You know what I mean? Like yeah, like they carry away a small lamb. They literally can. They're almost as big as an eagle. We do have golden eagles. Usually see them for a little bit in the spring. We do have king eagles. We have two types of king eagles. We have the great king eagle, which is the big guy with like the 6 foot wingspan or whatever. And then we have another one that's just a bit smaller and not as much white on his head. And then we have golden yellow hawks. If you've never seen these things, the first time I seen them, it was so baffling. I was like, okay, it looks like a baby golden eagle, but it's not. It's different. It's yellow under the wings, and with the white stripes. They're so sharp. And they're normally way more north of here, and we've been seeing them for the past couple of years. There's usually those little hawks that are all over the place, and then we every now and then we'll get a nest of falcons up on the side hill there. Uh, you know, I remember the first time I heard like, and they when they let out like a scream there, it's like what the hell was that? It's a weird sound they make. But anyway, I was like, oh my god, a falcon! It's like you're kind of stunned when you see them. It's just like wow, I didn't think those were that many of them around here, but we do have them. And every now and then you'll see like, well, my neighbor he was practicing falconry for a little bit, but this was before him. But you see a falcon. It looks like there's something on his leg. It looks like he's carrying worms. It's laces, and what it is, that's people practicing falconry. Um, yeah, I'd like to have one, but they're a lot of work, like a lot of work. Uh, you can get them. They are legal to get. I don't know what the paperwork is around that, but for me, that's kind of a little bit too much work. So I'll stick with chickens. You know what I mean? It's just the only thing is you don't want hawks. If you're a farmer and you're farming chickens, you definitely don't want the guy beside you practicing falconry because you're gonna lose all your chickens. He's gonna owe you a ton in chickens. So yeah, that's fine, but every time, it's like, that's $18 a bird. You know what I mean? You're costing chickens, uh, something like that. Well, how much would I be spending on a bird? Yeah, probably something like that, 18, $20 a bird. I didn't work out the numbers yet, but it was something like 177 a pound. I think we did this year with our chickens, and the average chicken was between 7 and 8 pounds. So, uh, it'd be about 15, $16 a bird. Sorry. So that's about normal. It's about equal to a what's called a store bought bird, but I prefer I like the idea that we have our own chicken. It's there's it's a lot of work, but boy, is it ever it's pretty good. Now, mind you, some people will like yes, buying the chicken is more well, it might be about on par, uh, but it's like what were the chickens fed? How were they taken care of? Like me, me, I take good care of my chickens. I tell them jokes. Maybe they don't like that so much, but they were fed, watered properly. They're outside. You know, um, like next year when I build my super chicken coop there, I'm gonna have turkey coop, chicken coop. Well, two chicken coops. 'Cause, you can't put the meat birds in with the laying hens. The meat birds will kill them. Yeah, so so the birds I'm gonna get next year. Quail. Remember my shooting buddy Bob? I wonder how he's doing. I hope he's doing well. He's up there, so it's hard to say if he's even still around. But he had quail for a while, and they're just too temperamental to take care of. But you can let them go in the wild. You know what I mean? Like they're because they're a domestic bird anyway. But what I would like to have is pheasants. Those are I've only ever seen one in the wild, and it actually was one that got away on somebody. So I found it, but I saw it. And I had my shotgun with me. I could have shot it, but I was so stunned to see it. I was like, that long tail and everything like that. I'm like, I was just like, wow! I was just gawking at it until it flew away, and and I didn't want to shoot it because I'm like, oh no, I don't see a lot of pheasants around here, so maybe if a few of them get out or whatever, maybe they'll breed and we'll have more of them, because I love going after the wild chickens, which I'm not sure if we're in wild chicken mode yet. We're September, late September. I think it starts in late September, early October. Uh, Go whack a few of those. I still never figured out how that wild chicken ended up dying on my client's step over there. I was like, must have got hit by a car or something, died on the step, or hit the window, or I don't know. It's like, it's gone now, but I was like, why is there a dead wild chicken on his step? There's nobody living there. It's just like, yeah, so the mystery of the dead wild chicken. You can't trust a wild chicken. But anyway, I guess I better get off my ass and actually, do what I say I'm going to do and get stuff done. Yeah, there's that. Okay, anyway, yeah, there we go.